Welcome, race fans, to round 3 of the 2010 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Costa in the booth, and this is the Wild Rose MX Park, just outside of downtown Calgary. Fabs?
That's right, Travs. A beautiful day here. The MX2 boys on the line, and we've seen some intense racing in the MX2 class. The younger up-and-coming stars of Canadian motocross plying their trade, and they have given us some great racing to date. Here's an overview of where we are. Look at this, situated right in Calgary. You look one way, it's buildings, the other way, Rocky Mountains. Rain inundating Western Canada. You can see the puddles throughout, but come Friday, the sun was shining, dried the place out. Track crew did an amazing job to get this place tilled up and cherry for the weekend.
No question about that, Brian. Remember, the Wild Rose MX Park has got some huge valleys off to the side, a little flat up here. They put some big jumps in to slow the riders down. A lot of fans in and around this track. They've done a great job in getting the fans out onto the track. So we see the MX2 pilots rolling their bikes up to the gate. Of course, they come out in the order in the terms of who qualified the fastest. And remember, a concrete start here at the Wild Rose MX Park.
That's right, and the American riders a lot more versed in the concrete start than our Canadian boys. There's Jeremy Medaglia, and our own Ryan Gold caught up with him earlier.
Here with Orange Motorsports, Jeremy Medaglia, buddy. The year has gone pretty well so far. Haven't had that breakaway ride yet, but here in Calgary, things are looking well.
Yeah, the team's been good for me, and all my sponsors have stepped up good for the year, and the first two were consistent. My plan was, just get through them with a lot of points, and I think I'm like 1 point out of second right now, so now it's time to turn it up and see how it goes. The track's awesome, a lot of ruts, so it should be good today.
All right, I want the Jeremy Medaglia fans to know this. Why don't we cut the hair?
Because I think I might lose a little bit of strength.
It's a sign of weakness if you cut your hair, folks. Hey, keep an eye on the 17. This weekend could be his one here where he gets the top of the box in Calgary.
Nice work, Galdi. Looks a little bit like Samson and Delilah there. Fabulous. With the MX2 boys going out onto parade, Brian, a bit of a sight lap. Check the track out before the gate drops, but the leading edge pilots did not go out.
Yeah, that sight lap is optional. Here they are warming up their tires. They didn't want to go out and get all the mud up under their bikes and in their knobbies. So the leading edge boys on the line. Stick around, racing next.
Welcome back to the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. MX2 boys on the line. Of course, concrete start here, Brian. Got to get those tires up to temperature. Let's get the Monster Girls out onto the track. Alex and Sunny get the 30 board up, and let's get some racing started, shall we, Fabulous?
Yeah, this moto brought to you by MXP Magtras. I tell you, I'm glad I'm not buying their tires because these guys burn them up, and they pretty much use a new tire every moto out here. So the mechanics very busy between races as Alex goes to 5, Travs. The monster board is up. When it turns sideways, the guys have 5 seconds. Anytime in which the gate will drop, and there it goes.
Fabulous. Let's go on board with number 27, Kevin Benoit on the KTM. Oh, nice inside line, but he's behind Fitzgerald there. Looks like the Cowies are out front as they cross over the whole shot line and back up into the main part of the track.
Not a great start for Benoit, but Sean Wright gets that Royal Distributing whole shot, and that is all hole shots for Kawasaki every moto. This makes it 5 in a row that those 250F Cowies have snared the whole shot.
Number 29, Spencer Knowles in second place. Looks like Medaglia number 5 in third, but look at Mayer on the inside. He's got Medaglia for third place. Oh, to the contour lock-off. What a shot ride.
Opportunistic move by Teddy Mayer up the inside of Medaglia, eyes wide open as the boys blast through the whip section before the Lafarge 110. Jared Allison with a good start. Teddy Mayer getting aggressive on Spencer Knowles through the Dunlop corner. Oh, an armful of throttle there for Teddy Mayer. He swept both motos last week in Edmonton, and he is on the hunt for Sean Wright right now.
Fabs, let's go back and take a look at that. Holy shit, by number 76, Sean Wright. 5 in a row for that leading edge team. But watch Knowles come out of the inside with a full wheelie package over the line in second place.
Serious hookup and horsepower out of those C4MX motors in the leading edge Kawasaki's. A little slip there early on, a bit of grease out there. That'll work in over the next couple laps. Spencer Knowles, though, learning a lot. His second full year up in the pro ranks. Number 29 really getting low, and Knowles goes down. And look at Medaglia take evasive action, Travers. These ruts are deep, and you can see Medaglia get all squirrely. He may even lose another position out in that soft, deep stuff.
That's the thing about this Wild Rose track. It's got some real hard pack sections, but down in these valleys, in some of these areas, the ruts get super deep, and it gets very technical.
Look at how spread out they are already. Medaglia stays safe in third. Eric Nye, a previous champion, up into fourth, and our helmet cam on Kevin Benoit, he's sitting there around 6-7.
With our leaders funneling over that gigantic tunnel jump, Brian, it looks like the leading edge Kawasaki's are already starting to pull away. Reif in first, Mayer in second over Lafarge, 110. Brian, Mayer likes that outside line coming into the Dunlop corner. Reif on the inside, Lock and Teddy Mayer on the pipe.
There's great traction back here at the far end of the track, and I love that section. The guys get really light as they head into the international section. 8th place on the line. Fitzgerald steps out of the rut, goes wide, opens the door for Knowles. Knowles hungry to get back in that top 3. Remember, he crashed right on the first lap, handed third right over to Tyler Medaglia.
And let's not forget about the fact that Fitzgerald's got that torn MCL, so he's riding her right now, just trying to salvage points to our leaders in the Shaw Valley, Brian. Remember, they don't use this part of the track for any amateur racing, just on Pro Day. The battle for 5th is raging.
Jared Allison under a ton of pressure, and the back end skips out. They both go for the inside rut. A real ballsy gear choice for Jerry Medaglia in the pink. Reif just eating this track up, just flying. Mayer starting to lose a little bit of ground. Moto is early. Oh, and there's Jared Allison goes wide in the Shaw Valley. Here comes Medaglia, soaking up the bumps. You can really see the bikes working. Oh, and it's close. Allison could have just T-boned him, opted not to, and oh my goodness, another opportunity to play contact, but these guys are riding pretty clean right now. It is early on, maybe towards the end of the race.
Through the Dunlop corner, Brian, look at this. Mayer has Reif on the outside. He has caught up, and he has taken the lead. What a pass.
Wow, unbelievable speed to tame there. I thought the lapper might have caused some issues for Teddy Mayer. Here it is again. Comes in. Mayer always opts for the middle line right here. It is just a crapshoot on where you can get your wheels into the rut. Both on the gas, but Mayer just full on. Will not take no for an answer. He's riding so strong this year. Reif, very impressive, but Mayer, he is on a roll right now.
Boy, he carried a lot of speed through that corner, Brian. That's why I like that outside line, or as you said, the midline, much smoother. And boy, he stayed on it. Now he has the lead.
I'm liking Reif taking different lines. Maybe he's just riding smart. Watch Teddy, see if he's got better lines on the track. Eric Nye from Northern California on that Royal Distributing KTM, sitting somewhat alone in 4th place, Trials.
As we get back to the battle for 2nd place, Tyler Medaglia was doing a little hide and seek, Brian, and he has made it up on Reif. As we get through this middle section over the finish line, this is a tight battle for 2nd.
Well, remember, Reif hurt his hand last week in Edmonton, actually pulled out of the moto, so he's riding a little bit hurt. So that could be affecting him right now, but like Tyler Medaglia, head up, looking where he's going. He's going where Reif ain't going, and right here, the inside is definitely the best line.
Yes,
and you can just see Tyler get in there. Oh, but he's paddling along. Of course, the Blackfoot Race Shop just down the hill from this racetrack, so this is their hometown. The Blackfoot boys, they got a whole entourage here this
Look
weekend.
at that rhythm roller section up to the Lafarge 110. Looks like Reif is going wide. Is he going to take the Mayer line? I like the fact that Medaglia is on the inside and he's on the gas. You know what, Brian? Not only did Reif hurt his hand, but he also hurt his foot, so he's got double duty going on that bike. Oh, what a move into the international section for number 5, and the double clicker down into the valley.
They're neck and neck right here into this tight 180 hairpin left-hander, and I like this year, there's 2 great lines, and Reif's fleet comes off the head. Reif lucky not to fall down, showing stupendous balance on the motorcycle to keep it up right there, Travis. But Medaglia, he is on a mission right now.
I like the fact that in that button hook, Brian, that there are those 2 lines, lots of options on this track as the boys in replay come through the international section side by side into the button hook.
Traditionally, the inside line is the passing line. Tyler just rails through Reif a little bobble. You can see his outside foot come off the page, but where's his wrist? It stays pinned.
You got that right, but Medaglia takes that outside to inside and makes the pass stick, holding on to 2nd place. Look at the lines coming out of this MXP corner, too. 4-5 deep.
And I like this lapper. He just pulls off and stops, says, I'm out of it.
Back to our leader, number 1, Teddy Mayer, on that leading edge monster Kawasaki, looking really good in the lead right now, Brian. He's been able to pull away when that war for 2nd was going on through that rhythm section up to the Lafarge 110. It's pretty rough through there.
He's actually doing it, so getting a rhythm. And you can just see how hard it is out here. There's Tyler riding fantastic, just skipping out of these ruts and just keeping the throttle pin, letting the bike go where it may.
Number 76, Sean Reif, getting his last lap flag, Brian. Oh, look at that through the international section. Number 1, Teddy Mayer is having fun on his final approach.
Putting on a show for the huge crowd out here in Calgary, loving life. This will be 3 moto wins in a row if he can stay on the gas. Royal Distributing KTM's Eric Nye safe in 4th, and he's had a real quiet, lonely ride.
Oh, there's that international section, Brian, from a different view. What a beautiful part of this track. Hard packed, but the boys have fun. To our leader, number 1, Teddy Mayer. As you said, Brian, coming up to get his checkered flag for his 3rd moto win of the season. Remember, he had that flat tire in the first moto, ended the first round in 10th. All he can do is win. He's done it 3 times in a row. He's back in the mix.
Really discouraged after that first round with the flat tire, but now gaining points back. We got a lot of motos to go. A lot of bad luck can happen to anyone. Right now, it's all Teddy Mayer here at Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. A fast and furious first moto results in a blown seal for Tyler Medaglia. His mechanic's going to be busy between motos. To the Yamaha leaderboard we go. We know our top 3. Eric Nye, Jeremy Medaglia, Jared Allison, Kevin Benoit, good ride. Spencer Knoll settles for 8th. Fitzgerald 9th. Devin Pilkington breaks the top 10.
Number 1 doing it again, 3 in a row here, buddy. You got a little streak going. That was another solid ride. You got out front and just did your thing.
Yeah, you know, my big downfall, you know, for the first couple races was not charging hard on the first couple laps. So I didn't get the best to start, but I was right in there in the mix with those guys, and I passed Tyler right away, and I got, you know, I wanted to make those passes quick and got behind Sean, and we just took off. And I had a spot on the track in the back where I picked past him, and he followed a lapper one lap, and I just snuck around the outside of him and just got in a groove and rode.
Leading edge on the top of the box and the thirds here with Sean Wright, buddy. You came in today with a bit of a hurt, bit of an injury, but you soldiered through right there, and that was a good ride for points.
Yeah, thanks. I just tried to get a good start. My adrenaline was flowing through the first half, and then like halfway I started to feel it, and I just couldn't get it no more.
This is the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. The MX1 boys are coming out of staging again in order of qualifying times. Brian, we talked about the weather they had in the prairies. You're looking at the skies right now, bluebird skies, total sunshine, but it has been so wet. This track is setting up nicely, though, for this first MX1 moto.
That's right, Travis. Just look at the muck here by the staging area to the right. They got just pummeled with rain, but a beautiful day here today.
With the Monster Energy Surge Kawasaki's coming out of staging, Brian, you caught up with the sheriff earlier today.
For the Monster Energy Cernix Kawasaki pit Sunday morning with multi-time Arena Cross champion Josh DeMuth, all the way from Fort Worth, Texas. Josh, last weekend, 3rd overall in Edmonton. You got to be pumped. Just your confidence must be oozing right now.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I didn't really knew where I stood at the beginning of the year, and the first race was pretty tough. I had a couple of crashes in both the first and the second moto there in the first round, and so I just, you know, went home, made a few changes, and just really came back swinging in Edmonton and had a good race. I got 3rd to first moto, 4th to second, and ended up with a 3rd overall. So I felt good. It was a needed weekend.
Well, we know motocross is a very mental sport. Confidence, you can't even buy that stuff. Here in Calgary, does this track suit your style?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I like the ruts. It's a little bit hard packed, a little bit more of a clay-based type soil. So yeah, it's something that I grew up riding on, and it kind of fits my style a little better.
Nice job, Brian. Okay, here's a great shot of that concrete start that they have here at the Wild Rose MX Park. MX1 boys are picking their gates. This is the calm before the storm, racing right around the corner. Welcome back to the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary, getting ready for the first MX1 moto of the day. The Monster girls are out onto the track. Sonny getting ready to pop that 30 board up. Alex looking good on the left as we go to the line. This first MX1 moto will be brought to you by Smith Optics. Hey, the number 120, that's Chris Kiefer riding the KTM at this moto up from NorCal, right?
Yeah, this is his second foray in Canada. Great to have him back. A fast California boy up here riding for the Brothers from Kawasaki. Gate is down, drag race. Wow, the Honda gets a great start from the outside. That's PJ Stratton, but he's bested by Dusty Klatt right at the last second for the Brothers from the whole shot. So Klatt snares it, but Canary moves quickly into second place.
Did you see Canary get back on the saddle and just try to get that tire over the line to get that whole shot? What a great shot that was. But again, a great start for PJ Stratton as he falls back into 3rd place. But it's nice to get a nice young privateer up there in the top 5.
Is that Josh C. Ruth? No, Troy Adams on the Cernix. Kawasaki moves into 3rd. That's the best we've seen from him this year.
With the boys bundling through the contour lockout. Again, Brian, every time I see this shot, I melt for crying out loud. Cloud. I love it.
Fantastic. Now these 450 motorcycles come through with so much more speed up to the 110, rocking through those rocker bumps. And you know, it doesn't look as fast there head on, but when you stand beside the track, man, they're doing at least 50, 60 miles an hour through there.
Dusty Cloud in the lead, Canary in second, and look at Colton Fasciotti, who did not get a great start, is starting to make some moves, goes on the outside. Does he have Adams through this little roller section down into the Shaw Valley? Side by side, Brian. But the outside becomes the inside, and yes, he does as they drop down.
They land simultaneous, but Colt with a lot more momentum makes the pass, and that outside at the bottom of Shaw Valley, beautiful loam, and it's a fast way around. Adams following right now the same lines as Fasciotti, and I think for good reason, because Fasciotti has been the class of the field to date.
A great start for number 546. That is Kevin Urquhart sitting in the top 5. I think I also saw Josh DeMuth and number 552, Freddie Carly, who is now riding for that factory Suzuki team, the Rockstar team.
A huge story there. This is his first day on the Suzuki. He got hired after last weekend's performance, and with Mitch Cook being hurt, the Rockstar Suzuki boys have picked up Carly. Now, Carly couldn't even practice because all the rain all week long. So Freddie came out this morning in practice for the first time as things are getting hot. Fasciotti wheelies through the ruts on one wheel. Did you see that? And just throws a whip into Canary, not happy with that at all. Plus, Fasciotti's chopped with a big inside takeout move. Fasciotti upgrade with the legwork on the outside, coming out of the off camera. Look at the aggression. Fasciotti's on the gas. Up the inside line, takes a peek up here into this little rhythm section. Fasciotti's Canary gets a little crossed up there.
Man.
Fasciotti makes a clean pass.
Brian, Canary's been talking about getting a good start and getting up there and battling with Colton Fasciotti. And when they came over that finish line, Colt threw that clicker into him, and you knew he was pissed. And then he got right into his kitchen, all over the Lafarge 110 with a shot. Here is the pass again. There's that little clicker. You know Canary didn't like that.
Well, Canary peeked over and just saw that knobby tire whistling right by his head. He's like, I'll take none of it. Takes the outside, cuts in, just takes the line away from Cole with a nice little bit of rubbing. That was sweet bit of ride right there by Bobby K.
Now, Brian, coming into the second part here, Canary wanted that inside line that we've talked about, which is much better, but he came in so hot, a little bit of wheel slippage there, and he pops out of the rut. And watch Fasciotti on the gas. Right there.
Bobby K getting a little ahead of himself. He locked up the front wheel, and that caused that little upset of trajectory. Opened the door for Colton. DeMuth now gets by Urquhart. He's up into 5th place. And he low slides, and Urquhart goes by, and there goes Freddie Carly from Cairo, Georgia. DeMuth keeps it running, but not long enough to get passed by Mason Phillips. So Josh DeMuth loses 3 positions there with that low slide, but he's up and running. Didn't really lose a lot of ground.
Back to our leaders, number 2, Dusty Cloud with a generous lead. First time so far we've seen that in the series, Brian, as he goes over the under to 4th place, number 65. That is Troy. Adams goes down in a heat, Brian.
Oh my goodness, Troy Adams with the best start of the season. He looks like he's definitely hurt, or he's knocked the wind out of himself. Not great for that Monster Cernex Kawasaki rider from Florida. He's holding his hand, it looks like, Trav, so hopefully nothing major wrong with Troy.
2 Blackfoot Yamahas through the Dunlop sweeper as we get back to, yes, 3rd place is number 3, Bobby Canary, keeping those 2 leaders in sight right now, Brian.
Bobby Canary here. He's been taking this inside line. Yeah, there he goes. He just jumps over the inside. It's really cool. To the outside. Oh, my goodness. South African Leo O'Farrell catches his inside foot on Adams' handlebar. Makes him go down and hug the berm. That's really gonna suck for him as Adams comes in and just looking ahead, he's setting up for the corner and lays it down. He lands kind of already turning in and just dishes out that front wheel. Maybe a little bit of front brake there on the landing, but it looked like he just landed and slid out.
Brian, the hard pack sections in this track are ultra slippery. You really have to be paying attention down into the Shaw Valley. We talked about the ruts down at the bottom. Fasciotti is moving up on Clyde. He has closed the gap, Brian. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin coming out of that rut for Clyde. Goes inside through the Yamaha. Oh, and more wheel spin, Brian.
Dusty getting on the gas really early, trying to respond to Colton, maybe pushing a little too hard, and it's working against him right now. We can see Colton taking the inside and outside lines here out of the Shaw Valley. Really great dirt, like to say. This section's only used once a year. Dusty is in trouble right now. What happened there? Went way wide. Colton capping capitalized. I don't think Dusty realized maybe that Colt was so close, Travis.
Looked like a bit of a brain fart, Brian. He swung out wide out of the Shaw Valley and just opened the door wide open. It was like a double-car garage there, for crying out loud.
We've seen a lot of passes there on the inside, and definitely not the place you want to leave the door open, especially for the lead. So Colton back in first place where he's been all year.
Number 552, Carly, has got by Urquhart into fourth place. Urquhart with the check back. Mason Phillips on the outside through the Dunlop sweeper. Looks like Urquhart is looking for lines. Again, not on the gas. I love the speed for Phillips, though, around that sweeper.
Yeah, well, that's another case. Outside becomes inside as they drag race up into the Shaw Valley. They switch over again. Phillips up to the inside. The Kiwi from New Zealand
a little
gives a little, shows a little loving to the Washington rider, Urquhart. And look at Phillips step out of the rut, keeps the gas on. He didn't really plan that.
What's with that blue flag? They're giving Urquhart the blue flag for crying out loud.
Well, that's just a little oversight there by one of the officials. Urquhart definitely in position, but Urquhart's got his rear view mirror full of that green Kawasaki, and that's Demuth coming back after his low slide.
Great shot of number 120, Kiefer, through the Dunlop sweeper, sitting in 11th right now, but oh my goodness, number 135, the Sheriff is on the outside as they drop down to the Shaw Valley. Oh, so aggressive. Brian, I love the way that Josh Demuth chooses lines and the riding style. So aggressive.
Carly thought he had him covered. He pinched him way off to the inside, but Demuth just slid right in there. Took Carly by surprise big time. So a heads-up pass for 5th place as we get back to Fat Yotes out front. He's put some gap on Klatt right now.
Two enormous men on motorcycles battling for 7th. Keast on the inside through the Dunlop sweeper and the big Hungarian. Brian, I love to see these guys go for the brass knuckle, bare knuckle championship.
You just see the bikes working and skittering all over underneath them. Keast correcting, overcorrecting. Nemeth whipping and looking, and this is some great racing right here. Nemeth, this is not his type of track. We know he likes the more soft, rough tracks, but he's just trying to get through.
Brian,
this weekend, we've got some issues out on the racetrack.
We've got a Red Cross flag coming out. Back to number 2, Dusty Klatt sitting in 2nd place down in the Shaw Valley right now. Brian, oh, no. That is number 1, Colton Fasciotti. That puts Klatt in 1st place, and he does not look good.
Oh my gosh, look at all the people out on the track. He's not moving right now. Travers Colton Fasciotti is not. Oh, there's a hand. His hand is moved. That is a good sign, but that is about all I can say positive right now. This is ugly. I do not like this one bit. The Blackfoot boys are starting to surround him. Things are raging back in the pack, but they're laying right out in the middle of the track, and that's right before that big 110-footer. And red flag, this race has been stopped. We're past halfway, so finishing order as it stands. We'll get back to you after the break.
Welcome back to the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. All of our thoughts and prayers are with number 1, Colton Fasciotti, who has been taken to the hospital. The finishing order is, as Brian said, at the 20-minute mark when the red flag came out. Dusty Klatt will be your winner. Canary in 2nd and Demuth in 3rd. But again, what a horrible way to finish this first MX1 moto.
The number 2 taking the first moto of the year here for Dusty Klatt, buddy. Last weekend it was a nightmare. This weekend is a whole other dream, and it all worked out today.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the way to take it. It was a really bad crash Colt had, and, I hope he's all right. But my Yamaha Red Bull Blackfoot bike got off to an awesome start. We were able to grab the whole shot and led a few laps, and it was a good race. I was actually probably the best I felt so far this season, and, Colt got in front of me, and I just tried finding a couple lines that I think some of mine weren't working too well, but once I got in that groove, I was able to, stay more with him anyway, so. But until his incident, it was kind of a crappy way to go.
Okay, Brian, let's get to the final round of the West Canadian Women's Nationals presented by Honda. And you know what? This series ended up being very interesting coming into the final round. And you see number 50, Shelby Turner. She was a bit of a dark horse coming in because number 3, Deneen Drew, looked like she might be the class of the field, but it wasn't the case.
Totally, Deneen was the favorite, but Shelby Turner at 14 years of age wowed us all, winning the first moto handily, and Deneen had some troubles out there this weekend. Maybe a bit of nerves caught up with her.
Shelby Turner taking the first win, Brian, the first moto. So the second moto starts, and number 3, Deneen Drew, gets the whole shot and gets out in front. She was 5 points in the lead, and then she laid the bike down in the lead. That's where the problem starts. She stalled it, and the whole package went around her. Turner had some work ahead of her. She had to get into first place, but all eyes were on Giroux. If she could make it into second, the championship would be hers.
Deneen much better than than that amateurish fall. I was definitely nervous. Poznikov paddling through the ruts under big pressure from Shelby Turner right now. Poznikov, though, really stepped up this year, riding super fast. The pass is made. Turner in first place, Carly in second, Deneen way back.
Like to see these young riders come up and show their wares. Look at Turner in first place, boy, Brian. She was ripping it up on this track.
Yeah, she's clearing most all the jumps. Poznikov not far back. There's Deneen's sister, Amber, really stepped it up big time this year on the Suzuki. Riding fantastic. She's sitting third right here in the second moto. But it's all about this young girl, Shelby Turner, as she takes the championship right here with a stellar 1-1 win.
Turner getting the #1 plate from Grand Poobah, the CMRC, Mark Stallybrass, and there's your top three in the West. Turner, Giroux, and Poznikov.
Great effort and speed shown by all our female competitors. MX2 boys getting ready. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. The MX2 riders are on the line for their second moto of the day as Alex gets the Monster 30 board up to get things underway. This second MX2 moto will be brought to you by Brass Knuckle Therapy. Brian, great shot of the 40-rider gate. A lot of riders funneling into a sharp turn out there.
And the whole starting area tilled evenly, and that just saps the horsepower on these 250F motorcycles. Of course, these bikes highly tuned as the girls running for cover. The gate is down, Travis, as they come storming into the first turn. Those leading-edge Kawasaki's, they're there again. Sean Wright, second Royal Distributing hole shot, but Teddy Bear right on his back knobby.
Number 76, Sean Wright with the Royal Distributing horse. Yeah, that's #2 for today, right?
Yeah, man, unbelievable. Those bikes are so good out of the gate. Now, you need a fast motor, but also a lot of technique, and we can see the Americans a little better on those concrete gates. And oh, Bear comes up a bit short, has a bounce. Great start for South African. That's Fitzgerald. Kira Fitzgerald sitting third, and that's the Orange Motorsports KTM.
With the boys funneling through the contour lock-off. I like that little option line off the start in that center section. Spreads the boys out, gives them lots of room. Brian, this is the section that Colton Fasciotti went down right there.
Yeah, through, he got sideways, and we heard Clancy made a foot peg, which threw him right onto the ground. Tyler Benaglia, Blackfoot Yamaha, taking a peek around Fitzgerald. Whoa. Fitzgerald looks over the left. Never a good sign with the look back. Opens the door. We saw things happen down here in the Shaw Valley before. The outside's the best way around. Fitzgerald goes for the inside, manages to get through, but loses the spot to Tyler right there.
Brian, there's a huge bomb hole down in the bottom and just robs your momentum as you're trying to get some flow up that hill.
Well, it cost Fitzgerald third place. Tyler Medaglia again. Look at Medaglia throwing that rut. On the gas, hard fishtails out to a replay of a Royal Distributing hole shot. Rife again, perfect, and I like the teammates wearing that same blue Thor gear. They look super pro like that. And look at the body English as Rife just leans from one side to the other, just keeping the thing pointed straight. Man, oh man, this is not an easy feat. It looks easy watching him go around, but correcting and overcorrecting, a big name of the game. Things are getting hot, T.
This is for third place. Medaglia has fallen back. Fitzgerald got him back. Oh my goodness, over that big launcher, Brian, and a little clicker from Medaglia as he goes inside on that Dunlop sweeper and moves back into third place.
That big scrub kept Tyler low and gave him that forward drive to make the pass. Same as the first moto, it's Teddy Mayer in stocking mode, takes a peek up the inside. Oh, and Rife nails that. Poetry in motion. Sean Rife is doing things right now. And you know, leading a moto, Travis, is a learned behavior, and Rife is learning all about it. Oh, look at this. Right around Knowles. That's sixth place for him, and that big orange Katoom.
Let's remember that number 76, Sean Rife, has won a moto so far this season, the first one, so he knows how to take care of business through that bomb hole section. Brian, the inside line is not working for Rife. Look what's happening down there.
Look what we were talking about. They both hit it, see Rife hit it, and go completely perpendicular on the track, just pointing the wrong way. Mayer does virtually the same thing.
Look at that.
Oh, and Rife goes down in all the heat of the action. Now it's Tyler Medaglia pressuring on Mayer. Mayer, the mayor of Edmonton last weekend with that clean sweep. But look at Rife. He just soil samples there. Flustered a little bit, T. Flustered out there.
I like the fact that number 5, Tyler Medaglia, is a danger man because he came down in third place and had to get on the binder so he didn't run into either one of those guys. Mayer right now in first place, Medaglia in second. Let's get back to the replay.
Oh, this is great from a reverse angle from the top of the hill. Here comes Mayer after they both stifle up on the inside. Medaglia taking a peek, Rice on the outside thinking, I got a good line, but just under slides the front end, knifes it under, and just look at him laying there, just, I can't get my foot out. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Pushed the button. It looked like he wanted to get that front wheel into the rut, Brian. He just missed it, and it's a little loose up top there.
Just a little too aggressive there. Rife, a fast rider. We'll see him get back up. We'll see if he can mount a challenge for the podium. That puts young Jeremy in third place. Love this kid. He's been solid, but not quite able to get on top of the box yet.
He loves sitting in third place in that second moto, no doubt about that. And number 12, that is Eric Nye in fourth place. The battle coming out of the international section is raging for fifth place. We've got Fitzgerald and Allison using opposite lines, Brian. I like it. And there's number 76, Sean Rife, who's back up again using that inside line. Boy, he's on the gas through there.
The outside leg pops off, but he's able to hold on tight, holding on with his inner thighs. They're turning with the legs. The legs and the feet play a huge role in turning. And look at this track. It's just beautiful. I love this international section. It is so whip friendly, and the spectators get their money's worth. For sure, Medaglia peeking around the outside. He's lurking, he's looking, he's leaning all over Teddy Mayer right now.
I love the fact that he's using opposite lines, though, Brian. He's not following, and again, he loves that outside line through the button hook. What a shot as they come through the rollers down into the Shaw Valley.
Showing the speed they reach out on this racetrack. Mayer taking that sloppy inside line, gets through clean, but Medaglia through the middle, makes the pass up in the Shaw Valley, and virgin dirt, great traction back here. They only use this section once a year for the Pro Boys. And Medaglia on that home Blackfoot Yamaha moves up into first place team. Good racing up front.
Well, the track's wide here too, Brian. There's lots of options. You're seeing lines crisscrossing inside, outside. Oh my goodness. Rife loves that inside line, but it's causing him problems all day long as Benoit slips by him.
Look at the melee of traffic in behind, and he gets back through in front of, that's Knowles, and then he gets by Benoit right away with a close pass.
Great battle out there for seventh, Brian, as we get back to our leaders over the finish line. Number 5, Tyler Medaglia in the lead, hunted now by number 1, Teddy Mayer. Oh, look at that, Medaglia slides out, coming into that left-hander.
Oh, but he keeps the engine running, and that's so paramount with these volatile four-stroke machines. You know, when they get hot, they're hard to start. You gotta find neutral, or you're just chasing your tail. Here it is in slow-mo. I love the line here. Tyler jumps over, gets to the left of all those braking bumps. See that? Seemingly picture perfect, but he knows Teddy's there, and he just loses traction. He's just trying so hard. You want to get moving so fast, you get a little ahead of yourself sometimes. Bit him right on the butt right there, and good recovery though, big time.
Oh, Brian, Mount Mayer's down for crying out loud. This track is biting tail all over the place.
Tit for tat out here. Now Tyler back in first place. Let's see how far back in real time for Teddy Mayer, and it is quite a long time. There's not even yet. Mayer's still in second place though, Travers.
And look at this number 17. That is Jeremy Medaglia has caught up. Brian, we've seen this all day long. If you just don't get your wheel right into that rut, this track is very slippery, causing problems. Mayer right now coming across and getting his last lap flag.
And these are some of the best riders in the classes that have been making these crashes. So everyone trying hard, but a great point you make, Travis. You got to make sure you're settled in that rut before you apply the throttle. And you want to roll it on, because wheel spin out here can kill you.
Brian, loving the battle for 8th as Benoit and Knowles go over the finish line and get their last lap flags to our leader, number 5, Tyler Medaglia, on his final approach. This will be his second moto win of the season, and he will now hold court in the MX2 class.
Look how gnarly it is out there. Like last weekend in Edmonton, suspension settings not so critical. Here, ultra critical. Even more so in the heavier MX1 bikes. But these MX2 bikes dancing all over the racetrack. But the Blackfoot Joe Skid suspension Yamaha, Tyler Medaglia with a great moto win.
All right, let's get to our Yamaha leaderboard top 10 second MX2 motos. Some great battles from 5th to 9th. I'm loving Dylan, Kalen, and 10th. Let's go into the impound with the Golden Goose, Galding.
Well, back on top, the number 5 here, taking the overall win, but it almost seemed like neither one of you guys wanted to win that moto. One takes the lead, goes down, you take the lead, you go down. It was a heck of a dogfight.
Yeah, you know, it was a really good race. It was fun, you know. The track was really good. It was nice and ruddy, and you know, I just took my time and you know, gained, and then you know, I made a little bit of a mistake, but then I capitalized on his, so it was good.
Orange Motorsports, KTM, Jeremy Medaglia, buddy, another solid ride out there. You got off to a great start. It seems like the second moto was the better moto for you.
Yeah, like first moto wasn't that good. I didn't get the best start. I just spun a bit, but Second motos do go normally better for me once I settle down, but it was a good day. Track was awesome, and everyone was riding good, and it was just fun.
To the yummy Monster Energy Series points after 3 of 9 rounds. Tyler Medaglia, best mare, but I love the third place jam between Nye and Jeremy Medaglia. Things are hot, Travs. Great motos today, but we still got one more hot one after the break.
This is the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary, Alberta. MX1 riders on the line for the final moto of the day, and this moto will be brought to you by Hindle. Feel more power. Brian, we have a report from the hospital. Colton Fasciati has suffered what they are calling an upper body injury. Sounds like the hockey playoffs. Of course, it was a scary crash. We're hoping that he's going to be okay.
The best news I've heard all day, Mark Travers, is Colton's going to be okay. We know he rung his bell pretty good as Sonny goes to 5. We're on board with Redemption Racing. Josh Snyder right up the inside. He gets quickly pinched off by Julian Cerny. We can see Phillips in there, Meyer down, Keith right up ahead. Just action-packed right now. The boys start flying. Everything's going on.
Oh, he's just getting pummeled with Bruce, Brian. That's why you want to get a good start, especially at this Calgary track. That inside gate pick looked good for him early, but not right now. Number 2, Dusty Clack gets the whole shot and now is out in the lead. And how about number 19? That's leading edge Brock Hoyer with a great start.
From Kamloops, we saw him ride very, very well. First round, look at the big roost coming out of Clack. Of course, he gets that Royal Distributing $200 for the yacht.
To the contour lock-off as the boys funnel up the over jump into the valley. We have a nice cluster coming through the rhythm section.
Look at Kay!
Oh my goodness, Bobby Canary on the inside as he launches himself over the tunnel jump into the Dunlop sweeper.
That gives you a little taste of the speed there, and that's where Fasciati just went face first right into the face of the 110-footer. But a great start for Kevin Urquhart there on that white Kawasaki with the red gear.
Through the international section, a nice cluster here, Brian. We've had a couple of big crashes in this section in the past, but boy, these riders really have faith in each other as they go over that section.
Keaston Carlise side by side. Keaston on that Machine Racing Honda wearing all white, so he's easy to spot. There's Keast right now. He got the measure of Curly. Number 31, Sean Moffenmeyer on that Blue Traders Yamaha with a great start again for that young kid.
Right, looks like the number 120 of Chris Kiefer sitting in 7th as is that DeMuth? Yeah, DeMuth slid by him for 6th.
Kiefer takes a peek up on the inside of DeMuth. There's where that big hole is, and Kiefer goes in the hole. Look at the positions. He just got swallowed right up by Keith and Carly. And look at Keith takes a huge peek, and I like Keith found that good traction outside of the shiny bit and shoves Moffenmeyer. Moffenmeyer's off the bike. He steps back on. He's going all kinds of carnage early on.
Even the 450s are having problems, Brian. Let's get back to that real distributing. Watch Clyde come by and just, oh my, gets on the gas. Copious amounts, but Hoyer wasn't far behind.
Wow, Hoyer just missed it by I would say a nose, but it was less than a nose right there, Trav. Now with Fasciati out of it, it's all Dusty Clatt. We've seen him get so many second places. Hard to get the measure of Fasciati. Checking the gappage right now. Hoyer second, Canary third. There goes Urquhart fourth. Josh Demuth fifth. And look at Keast. Where's he gonna go? He knows that hole's there right up the middle.
Yeah, but he took the outside. He didn't go into the bomb hole, so good for him. To our leader, number 2, Dusty Clatt, who went out in front, Brian, can pull away, especially on this track. Looks like he's riding a little conservative right now, back to the battle for second place. Bobby Kay likes this little section, Brian. Oh, what a beautiful scrub out that jump. Look at that line on the inside.
He made that pass way back there, building momentum, and just blew by Hoyer. Bobby Carey's been super fast through this section all weekend long, and Haybale's out on the racetrack. That's not going to slow these guys down much. Hoyer, though, I admire Hoyer right there, getting air, coming out, heading into the international section. Here it is. He lands way faster, gets his wheel up, and he's kind of manualing some of these bumps, not rhythming. You can see Hoyer kind of jump. Bobby Kay just kind of keeping the front up, manualing the back wheel, and it's a lot easier to hit with just one wheel than two.
We've talked about guys like Blair Morgan being really good with line choice. Bobby Canary is excellent with line choice. So is DeMuth, but how about Urquhart on the inside, blowing Hoyer wide? Boy, they're staying out of that bomb hole now, Bri.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That will get you nowhere fast. Brock Hoyer coming down the hill. Whoa, he's skipping and bouncing. There's Demuth right there behind him. Machine Racing Honda. That's the big 450, the dozer. Kyle Keast.
Right, let's go on board with number 43, Josh Schneider in the contour helmet cam. Out of the international section into the button hook. Schneider stays on the inside. Boy, this part is tricky. 260 off the pegs. Looks like Schneider might have the position.
You can see ruts everywhere on this racetrack, man, and you don't want to get cross-rut. Look at the speed right now. Coming out of the off-camera, Hoyer's in trouble from Demuth. Hoyer riding great today, but Demuth gets it. Hoyer's got the good inside. Demuth paddles along, still managed to stay ahead. You know that Cernix Kawasaki, they've got that thing dialed. Great team of technicians under that tent. Billy Whitley, team manager, so we know Demuth's bike's working good.
The Northern California resident Kiefer and the South African number 8. That is Liam O'Farrell battling through the international section. This one's for 11th, Brian.
Kiefer up here doing a story for Dirt Rider magazine, so we welcome him with open arms. And of course, O'Farrell, we saw him have that trouble when he got caught up with a down Troy Adams motorcycle, and he hugged the berm on his face. Clat way out front at this point, Travers.
Number 3, Bobby K in second place, Brian. Seeing O'Farrell and Kiefer on the track, Brian, just shows how international this series. We've got guys from New Zealand, from South Africa, from the United States, all over the map.
And Hungary right there, Cornel Nemeth around the outside, the big Hungarian. He's making a move right now on Hoyer. That's 6th place, and Cornel Nemeth, the Bohemoth, moves up into 6th, and he is a great rider. He has got so many skills, so many different facets of motorcycling that he has excelled at. But right now it's Dusty Klatt pulling a huge gap, riding perfect, concentrating at the beginning of the moto to check out. Now he can have some fun, whip it up for the fans a bit.
This is the battle for 3rd place, number 135, the Sheriff Josh Demuth. Does he have Urquhart on the outside? Holy crap! Carrying speed, Brian.
What a fantastic pass there. Urquhart focusing a little bit on the lapper, getting off of his game. Demuth says, I'll take that. Roos right around the outside on that Monster Energy Kawasaki. So great riding for the Sheriff here in Calgary.
Demuth has been the big surprise in the MX1 class, Brian. I don't necessarily think that everyone gave him a podium shot coming in, but he has podium since the first round in every moto. Love that guy. Number 3, Bobby K in 2nd place, coming out of the Shaw Valley.
You mentioned Kevin Urquhart. He has had his hands full in this race. He has been under a ton of pressure, and right now Keith is lurking around looking. You see Urquhart throw it sideways, and when you're behind a guy and he whips it like that, it just makes you want to pass him all that much more. Here comes a hungry Kyle Keith, and the Keiths can take the punishment. He forces Urquhart wide, and I tell you, there's a ledge there, and if he shove Urquhart in that ledge, it's soil sample time. But the creativity of Urquhart gets way up on the inside, out of the rut, and now it's for Keith, but Urquhart put on a good fight.
Keith's using that outside line, dropping back down into the valley, and it worked for him because he got the inside at the bottom of the valley. What a great pass for Kyle Keith. Loving the fact that Urquhart right now is in the top 5. To number 135, Josh Demuth sitting in 3rd place. Keith in 4th, and there's Urquhart in 5th.
This is a choppy, rough, gnarly racetrack. I'm telling you, these guys are working for these 30 minutes plus 2 laps out here. It is not easy. And there's a Dusty Klatt we've known to grow to love. He can whip it inside out. Dusty having a ball out front right now. Josh Demuth, the Sheriff there. Nice shot of him sitting 3rd. He's worked hard for that position as well.
You know when Klatt busts the big whip off of the international section when he's leading the moto that he's having a good time. So he'll take 2 moto wins right now, Brian, and it actually doesn't negate the 50 that he lost last week, but it certainly helps in his drive back to the top 3.
Yeah, 2 DNFs last week. You know, he had to be in a little dejected. This is going to give him the confidence and put a smile on his face. Taking 2 moto wins here for the clean sweeperoo on Blackfoot's home track. Great ride for Dusty Klatt to the Yamaha leaderboard. Keith manages 4th. Phillips with a late moto charge to 5th. I'm liking Freddie Carly, maiden voyage on that Suzuki 8th.
How does a rider mentally block out an image of your teammate going down and move ahead? How do you do that?
You know what, it's racing, and if you put stuff like that in your head, you just can't. Not in this sport. I mean, you want to keep on going, you have to keep that stuff out of your head and keep positive and know that you're a solid rider and that, you know, you take that risk every time that we hop on this bike. So, you know, I'm aware of that, and I just go there and ride the best I can.
what's interesting out there when I'm watching you ride is that other than a couple of battles, you've really been riding on your own in almost every single race, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, that moto I got a little bit worse start, had to come through the pack a little bit. You know, we all got to work for it here and there. Can't get all those good starts, but you know, it felt good to get back there and do some battling, make sure I'm still good if I got to come through the pack. And I felt comfortable around the guys, made smart passes, and kept ourselves in a great position throughout the day.
Let's talk about that track out there, because for the fourth moto today plus the two women's motos, that thing was beaten up. It was nasty, tough to find lines, and it didn't look like there was a lot of flow out there, but you were finding good lines, I saw.
Yeah, definitely. I rode real tight at the beginning of the race. You know, they overwatered the track a little bit, and it was real slippery, and I had hard packed tires on, so I was like all over the place. And you know, I just once the track got a little dried in and the line started to tack up, I started to feel a lot better, and you know, just got tangled up with a few lappers, and Canary got away a little bit. So, but I'm happy, man. Any race I can go home to, or home from, I guess, you know, is a good one, and come back out here and race with all my friends again next week. So.
New series standings after 3 of 9 rounds. Bobby Canary takes the lead. Kyle Keys moves into second. Dimu third. Fossiati drops to fourth. And Klatt regains to sixth.
To the Max Couchetard $50,000 leaderboard, 10 grand to the rider with the most points at the end of the series, 2,500 to the rider with the most moto wins. Canary now in control.
What a great day of racing here at Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary. Our thoughts are with Colton Fossiati. Let's hope he recovers. We'll see if he can race next weekend.
You have been watching the 2010 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Brought to you by RoyalDistributing.com, Canada's power sports leader. For Brian Coster and Ryan Gold, I'm Mark Travers. We'll see you next week at the Shadow Valley Raceway in Morden, Manitoba.